Okay, good morning. Market's opening up in 2 minutes. Running a little behind this morning. It is what it is. But the market is very balanced. So this morning, I'm only looking to operate for mean reversion in key weekly and overnight levels. So we have the overnight high at 21.75. That's a potential location to observe behavior. After that, we have the prior value area high at 25.75. We have a high volume node at 30. And we have the prior high a day at 34.25. To the downside, we have the prior value area low at 12.25. We have the prior low a day at 07.5, which also aligns with an LVN, and the prior, I said the prior low a day at 07.25, 0.5, I'm sorry, which aligns with the stock zone and a micro composite volume point of control. Overnight low at 4901.
Can you be conscious of how loud
0.75.
I'm about to present and you're yelling to yourself. I hear you, so can you just talk lower?
So let's take it easy this morning. It's Monday. The market's very balanced. Let's be patient and let's observe for high probability trades. Open up. We want to watch to see which way the market's going to drive first, because it could be a decent indication. I'm getting a data latency. Overnight volume point of control at 16. That's the first location. Migration down. Balance in here, which side is going to take control. Here comes the overnight volume point of control. Still have some sellers here. potential for this location to be supported. Other people have lag too. So we see choppy open, break lower, test the overnight buying point of control, test up to VWAP and mid, test, break, migration lower, market moves in the opposite direction. In IRIV, we anticipate that both sides of the opening swing are going to be tested. So I don't know if this... we know stops are above here, and we know that there's stops into 21.75. The market is immediately in a balanced state, which was anticipated. The best locations to look for shorts is going to be 30 to 35 and right around 4,900 to 90. Really 90, 92. Let's take a look here. The value area for this whole consolidation. 92.5 and 30.75. Moves into these locations could offer trades back into the middle. The ES has opened higher in range, in value. The opening swing is 16 to 19.5, testing higher now. As noted in my early reference, our previous settle and FS levels. Yeah, so lower 14, 11, settlement. Holding these areas and pushing higher, I'll look for scenario 1, early tests, and overnight high. Falling below, I'd look for an open to further auctioning and to test FS mid. Buyer stepping in. Whoa! Yawning. Overnight high tested. Somehow I entered here. There's no way I need to risk that much. Somehow I entered here. What's happening? Oh, motherfucker. That lag is serious. That's not good. Data latency. Let's see. Order book. MES H4.cv. Okay, show me the book. Here comes selling. Let's see if this is accurate, if this gets hit. We just had a migration. What the fuck? I don't think I could trade like this. Come on, Data, go away. Here's a test of the VHVN. Maybe. Order book. ESH4. .CME. Is that not it? ESH4.CME. Where's the book? So notice the test above 21.75 and then we fall out and we're auctioning lower below this 21.75 area. So if we could stay under 21.75, I'll anticipate a test of the swing low. We know there are stops located there. We have Gaza News. So we had a VHVN check and we're auctioning up here. Anything could happen holding below this 21.75. Though we did test the other side and now we're back on top of references. So potential to test higher, and then we have to see if the sellers are going to attempt to push price down from there, or if the price gets accepted and this 21 area holds. Data latency is going down. So there's a test in a 21-ish, 21.5. This guy pulls. Test into this VHVN. And after test high, we're looking to see about a test low for these stops down here. Opening swing low. We're very aware of the IB stats today in this balanced context. So far, VHVN is held. Might be a bumpy ride. Somehow it entered me up above what seemed to be the high day. Let's see what orders we have going on though. Recent orders. Yeah, we have a limit price for 16.75. Doesn't say anything about the stop. It says it was filled at 22.5. Interesting. Best thing about being self-employed PJ trader is that you don't have to trade. Facts. Go away. I mean it. Very balanced. Still holding below this here. Liquidity stepping in below. That guy pulls above. We also have liquidity above. So what we saw was a test low to the overnight volume point of control, reclaim the the middle and then rally higher to take the overnight high. And then a test lower and unable to recover this 4175 location, auctioning below it, kind of falling out, testing, falling out, testing. We're right in the middle. So we tested higher. There's potential for these stops down here. But we have stats open in all directions. We have the 25.75 prior value area high. We have the 12.25 prior value area low. We also have FSVWAP at 16.25, FS mid at 12.5. If we get removed here, then the next potential location is value area high at 25.75 for mean reversion. And if the market blows through that location, then we have 30 to 35. Tom says, observe volume, quote, pressure. One thing to remember also, it's month end. This will be kicking in ahead of the Fed most probably, so we may have a busier start to the week given large extensions to the upside in equities and downside in bonds. It's all about positioning now in the FOMC. Okay, so here's some strong buying into the high, so this trade is probably done. And then it'll be on to the next. It's mean reversion until it isn't. And we have IB30 being set in 4 minutes. This isn't a location for me. After this structure here and a tap of the high, now there's stops here. We do get a reaction to the downside, but I'm not counting on this holding. The thing that's interesting about mean reversion is as soon as you think it's going to the moon, it doesn't. Here's another test above 21.75, and then a break below. And right now we're auctioning this location. We're going to see how it responds to this right here. FT says, note that every time there's a run, there's a lot of collisions in the way. And strangely enough, this 21.75 area is rejected after breaking through. So it looks like there's a lack of participation up here. And now we're auctioning the mean. Pretty interesting behavior. Here's a test of that auction. Too high. Now we're back here. And these guys, this is interesting because people who are buying looking for a breakout now, they're in trouble. But we also have sell stops, stop losses, where mine is. So essentially, as long as we're below 21.75, these guys are somewhat trapped. These short-term participants. But it seems like the market's coming back for more. We have the IB30. There's another test, another smackdown. But so long as we're above here, then potential for higher. The thing is, we just had a test and the market just rejected. And now we're back here. So this is a failed attempt higher with liquidity stepping in. It doesn't mean that the market has to go down. Coming back for more. There is 7 points of range. Yes, very tight, but seemingly holding a bit around RTH levels. So far remaining consistent with scenario 1. Scenario 1 is a test into 30, and then 30 to 34 being the key target. And after that, mean reversion. Mean reversion, sub-electron particle trade. Yeah. I see it, but also I don't want to get in the way of this. No edge, but thinking downside eventually vulnerable, not a wreck. Patience. Yeah. So the market falls through to the other side of the mean. And we have liquidity below. Here comes some selling. And as soon as the market gets a little bit of legs, I get data latency. Here's another test of the outside edge. But this is similar to the type of thing I've been jumping in front of. It's mean reversion here. Short. And that doesn't mean that it's not a long here per se. But the thing is, test higher could not test higher. So now we have to check too low. But where is too low? Well, here's the outside edge. This is a potential too low area. But what do we have that's high probability? This or this. So if this is too high, then this is the high probability location. Patrick said 19 LVN. What I'm seeing is mean reversion and then checking for too low, and this currently was too low. It doesn't mean that we can't come back down for this. And it also, if this holds, then this. That's just the way it goes. Balanced trader. I know many very big traders that will rarely trade on a Monday. They call them information gathering days. By that, I mean big technical plays with a big directional view. They will save those for trigger days like FOMC. ECB news, etc. They will scalp some ticks for fun and read literature finance stuff, not Jane Austen. Yes, another big bounce off previous week's settle. See if the market's capable. We know stops are here. And I'm just holding this because obviously I don't know, and also my next trade locations are those weekly levels. We also have IBs IB30s leaning towards 71% chance that the IB60 is to the same side. So if we take out the IB30 and then do mean reversion, and it comes to the other side, whichever side it may be, then there's potential to take a trade targeting the IB60 of that side. And it looks like it may choose the IB30 to the higher side. Triple tap. You have several taps on this developing high day. ES pullback just ahead of best levels yield valid setup for me via scenario 1. Needs a new developing high day to continue to be validated. So I see shorts here. I see a test here. It's certainly difficult. I wonder if this counts. So it looks like this trade is going to not work. There's potential that it one ticks and comes back in, but what do I know? But not the highest probability. We have a lot of stops up here. The market will likely take them.
39 by stop.
So here's a test of the IB30, and we get extension, 1 point extension of the IB30. It's mean reversion until it isn't. We have resting liquidity at 25. We have prior value area high at 25.75. Let's see what sort of result that trade rendered. $21. Wow. I was only risking 1 point, so that was actually 1 R. Not really purposely, but. So we got stops going off at 24. ESS stayed in plans, not sure if we get yesterday's high. Potential for a lower high versus that day. We'll actively manage if we get a test of 26. Here's a test of the IB high from below. And we know that there's an 89% chance of this. But we have 26 above. And we're watching for that location. And we're holding below 23. So potential for mean reversion. There's no range though. And we have 26 above, so I'm happy to pass this trade up. And I feel myself thinking, like, what if it works? And what if I miss the short? Then what? Then what do I do? Well, then I sit there and I'm happy that I followed my plan. Patrick said 30 target, but this could be a pick. This could a pick. This could a pick. Yeah, so we're looking for 26 to observe behavior with enough range to scale, but also there is 30 high volume node, and there's also 34 prior high a day. Bing bong! Post gilt auction, we have seen 30-year bonds bounce off their ES scalp took me out for 0.5 risk, but did not take the trade a few times around 23. Whatever that means. Buyers push price to a new high. We do get stops picked up there. Now it's important to observe reaction based off of this. And the market pulls that liquidity. These guys lightened up a little bit. We got some sell icebergs in here. Auctioning up here at the high. little bit of exhaustion. Still holding high and tight. Orderly. Putting in a decent amount of volume right here. Matt B said, do you need to take a scale on a 4-point trade using a funded account? Some of my scales are close to 4 points. Goal for me is to be able to stay in a longer trade without wanting to bail. That's interesting. I've never really thought of that. Do you even need the scale on a 4-point trade? Holding this volume. Holding the IB30 there. Now, it's important to see a new developing high day if the market wants to move higher. Currently seeing exhaustion at the high each time it is tapped. Micro short to observe, not a rec. Observe volume, not a trade. 24 micro high volume node. Right here. Not a trade. Why is it not a trade? First off, not really any range. We're holding above the IB30 and we have 26 and 30 above. So it's a pivot-ish area, says Tom. And here is a sign of a break.
214 sell stop.
There it is.
153 sell ice cream.
And we get the data latency. Bullshit. So, maybe news. So if this is too high, then we observe for what may be too low. And yeah. If you put this volume into a vacuum, it tests it into the volume. Here's a test of 19, but is it convincing? Here's a test. So now there is technically a 5.66 chance of reaching this. But in the balanced with not a lot of range, today might be the day. Buyers don't want to see this through, swing low and settle. Yeah, that's for sure. Potential to pick the swing low and then reverse as mean reversion long. And if we hold below the swing low, then potential for lower. FS levels 13. Prior value area low 13. Nothing to activate on here. Buyers don't want this through swing low and settle. Volume picking up into VWAP. That quite normal. But if we get through that will be telling. So we're watching for a reaction at 16. There's a test of 16. Breakthrough.
276 sell iceberg.
Balance trader says through in all caps. Liquidity here. Buy iceberg. Interesting. I thought about maybe buying this, but I don't want to do that. That's a bad choice. Guys, can you see why we might stalk a short 24? Yeah, I saw it, but it wasn't very actionable.
$191 by stock.
Okay, we get a push out of there. Selling.
50 sell iceberg.
Sellers step in at 18 here. Still observing behavior. This guy pulls. Got some liquidity in here. Oh. Let's observe. Looking weak. That was interesting. Not interested in inside out, just mean reversion. we did get the pick. Little double bottom action. So, yeah, potential long. But we found clear resistance here. 18.25. And I'm not fully convinced. That was some big selling volume, so I have the opportunity to look for continuation, with the target being 08-ish. 09. Probably 08.5. LVN is here. SOC is here. So this did turn into mean reversion. So yeah, I did narrate it properly, but pretty hard to catch. And after this large volume break, LVN down there, 16 point. Whoa.
150 to sell iceberg.
Yeah. LVN. Location 12.5. That's a good location, 12.5. There's 13. Oh. IB there. 15.25 IB. Let's observe. Pretty tough. We do get extension stats below, but mean reversion. It's tough. Seems like we got the test lower. You just never know, but decent volume. Pretty tough. It's mean reversion. Mean reversion. Motherfucker. It's mean reversion until it isn't.
$257 by stock.
If it breaks the IBF, breaks for an IBF, then there's a high probability of reaching the VWAP. Let's see what Rod says. While we know the IB30 and IB60 has a high probability of getting the same side taken out, we really need to understand the priority of inputs. Context always number one. The first 30 minutes, 60 minutes of the market, it was slow mean reversion chop. Something to think about when considering stats and your setups. Use stats to your advantage based on the current context of the market. With how tight the range is, we could also see a neutral day. Fine with it. Oh. SOC, LVN here. They're kind of scalp-like trades. They don't have the best R, risk reward. This was like horseshoes after seeing this reaction. It's mean reversion. It's not IBC, it's IBF. Need to learn these, inherently learn on a subconscious level what this actually means. LVN in here.
$258 sell iceberg.
IB is at 15.25. Here's a high volume node. Looking for a pick into the IB. We got a tap of this volume here at 16. So we got responsiveness off of 16, which is the micro composite volume point of control. just around here. Kind of gross looking structure, if you ask me. What stats are still open? Prior high a day, prior low a day. Potential adding opportunities, but very gross looking. ES seeming support on previous settle / FS mid test. Yeah. That's 12.5. It's mean reversion, you big dummy. Still observing for longing opportunities. I'd like to see a test into 15. That was volume and break here. Test into mid, rejection. Seeing a little bit of curling. If it breaks this immediate resistance, then test here. And if it breaks this, then potentially this. IB test. Another. Maybe it won't hold. Not necessarily catching the bounce, but we are testing into here. After a break higher and kind of like a lower volume grind. We're at the IB. Stacked here. Here comes some buyers. They pull, so opportunity for a test here. And this breaks. Maybe a waiting game. Yeah, yes, at this point, we're starting to agree less with my scenario one, unless we can get back above DGPs and hold. Revisiting the developing low day, and scenario two potentially on the table. Just chopping around, and it's scenario three / hands off. Gotta hold this. Then we have that one runner for 30. See if buyers could gain some strength to push off of this low day back towards the mean. This held. Now we got to break this. we're revisiting and falling out, so it sucks waiting for this and it just misses by one tick. The waiting is difficult. Especially when you get one ticked. The quitty steps in. $11 looks like there was some sort of a little event that just occurred. This looks like the end of the road. That might have been an IBC. Double tap of this low. Maybe I should be freeing myself up. Volume here at the IB. 14.5 to 12.75 is not really enough range. Let's watch. Doesn't have to respect the IB. We have a double tap of the low here. It's kind of stalling out. Liquidity steps in underneath. Seller. Seller is not really rewarded there. Is that a local top on oil? Blah, blah, blah. No one cares. We got the double bottom. We have the stat below. We're holding below the IB, so I'm just looking for a scale for potential continuation. See if these guys start pulling. We did have IBF, but the market failed to test higher. So now we have stops down here. Looking a little tired. This definitely isn't the funnest environment to put on risk. It feels not fun because everything's so slow. So you have to sit and wait to see if your trade's going to play out for a longer period of time. No failure of the structure yet. Okay, I think I'm starting to overtrade. Yeah, neither side's really active. I'm starting to flip my position. This trade wasn't really proven wrong yet. I just would have been sitting in it this whole time. Minus 27 for the day. And I think that this is also not mean reversion. It's kind of hard. Both sides are kind of not that active. And maybe I don't have to rush into this because it is a little bit of structure. If this thing goes to 30 now, that would be a little bit depressing. Yeah. Maybe if I can't stand by and watch the trade I put on, then I should walk away. I think that I was pretty fearful today. Stop loss is in the right place. Hard to scale, which affects my decision making. Yep. So what do I do here when I put on a trade? I don't want to lose, and I see this double bottom. I know it's weak. I flipped around and I got short based off of this and this. But is it really continuation? What does my system really call for? Either here or here. It's difficult. You just never know. Mean reversion. What happened here? I could no longer hold on to the belief of mean reversion until it isn't. I go long, I miss. Stop loss is in the correct location. That's where the stop should be. It's unfortunate, and I miss, and the trade doesn't look like it's going to work. We get a test of the low after falling out here, and it's like, oh boy, this is done. And I see the double bottom, and I exit the trade. Essentially because the setup looked to be IBC. And then I go long, and I get stopped, and I consider bailing on this, and I feel like I'm flip-flopping. And this trade would have worked pretty well. The only reason why I didn't make money today is because I broke my rules. I didn't follow my plan, essentially. this would have been a really nice trade. It wasn't proven wrong yet. I have to be able to follow my plan. The trade didn't fail, and there was no indication according to my system as to why I should exit. This is random. Random price action. That shouldn't create a random process. For me, because exiting here and then going short is random. That's just very random behavior. The context is mean reversion. The trade didn't fail, so there's no indication to sell. That's just a fear of losing. And I feel like I'm feeling a little bit depressed almost. Like, not, depressed is a little bit extreme, but I feel like anxious. And I have to wonder why. Maybe it's because of, well, it's not because of this. But again, feeling a little bit anxious today. And it's coming out in a lack of ability to follow my plan. So what is that? Why am I trying to predict the future? In this area, I was feeling a lot of pain. It didn't look like it was going to work. The fact that I'm feeling that way, though, is already too much. Everyone's gonna feel that way, but how do I respond to feeling this way? If I'm not aware of the way that I'm feeling are my feelings, and they're not an anchored input for trading, then I'm going to act on those feelings, which is this. So here is a confusion between my process and my emotions. another mean reversion trading day. In these days, it's just, I mean, anytime I'm trading it, it really is just set it and forget it. Once I enter, I should be like, all right, I should be just chilling. That was the plan of how I wanted to be when I came home. Like, set the targets, set the stop loss, whatever happens, happens. And follow the process. But this is just totally against that. Well, I did a better job with not interacting with the market here because even though this is smaller, like there's only 7 points of range here, this in a smaller fractal is the type of location in which I was entering for mean reversion when the market's balanced. I still couldn't shake that mean reversion until it's not. Man, this is a hard belief. Either this is the only IBF trade, or this needs to have a deeper pullback. Because this is weak structure. This is resistance overhead. Here's multiple tests looking for continuation. And they're touching this location right here. So if this location breaks, then potential to test further outside. Which I did wait for it, but I didn't enter at it. And if I'm going to enter, I still should either wait for very legitimate structure, or just legitimate structure, or price over volume risk. You know, this period of time felt so long. It was killing me. So I just couldn't hold on. Today is a very important day to review too. I'm just going to keep practicing. I have the right idea. Mean reversion. Definitely anticipating mean reversion, so I don't know why, after everything I've said to myself and after all the review, I'm still going short here. After this test, it literally makes no sense. I need statistics to help these beliefs out. I really do. Because I need something that's concrete to believe in. But the statistics aren't going to happen until I go back to C, because I need to legitimately learn Python and learn how to actually run statistics on intraday market behavior. But after a test of IB, there is it's like a very high percentage of getting back to these locations. And I think I should also include the statistic. Let's see. Notebook. Building behavior statistics. IB stats. If IBF reaches VWAP, probability it will reach VPOC. All right. Well, what could have been a day that was not a lot to journal it's still not too much, but it kind of is, because these are some major mistakes that cost me a nice winning day. And it's the same problem with the balance here.